Hello and welcome to SPADS episode 20. I'm joined once again, I would say, by the usual crew, but we're not joined by the usual crew. We've got Brucey, we've got Dangerous, we're joined in the studio, replacement for Moneypenny, who's away on holiday. We've got Chelsea fan Woody. Woody, how are we doing?
Good evening. Yeah, good, thank you.
So you made you were SPADS Caller of the Week at one point. Now we've brought you in on person.
Got promotion.
So promotion, yeah, huge hits. Big signing on fee to come on in person, so I appreciate that. Gentlemen, how's the week been?
Yeah, good, thanks. Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, all good.
Yeah.
Yourselves?
Yeah, not too bad. Dangerous is watching the Chelsea Liverpool fans, so is Woody, so they might be a little bit distracted, so apologies for that. Liverpool versus Chelsea on now. We can't start without mentioning our friend of the pod, Graham Potter, who we talked about basically on a weekly basis. Unfortunately, was sacked this week? Sunday. Woody?
Strange decision for me. If it was 4 weeks ago, I'd have gone, okay, I understand that. Now it just seems a little bit strange to me. We've got 10 games to go. I mean, the only logical reason is the Champions League for me.
But he's done all right in Europe, though, isn't he? In terms of done better in Europe.
He's not done bad.
League.
I didn't think we'd do well against Dortmund and we beat them. So, yeah, I can't understand this decision to make that now. It seemed like everyone wanted it weeks ago and we stuck with him. And now we've decided, okay, we're going to stick with him. They then sacked him. So it just seems a bit strange for me.
What about you, Dangerous, in terms of that? You think of it's a strange decision?
Yeah, I think it's well strange. Yes, you've been awful in the Premier League.
Did you say well strange?
Yeah, I know. I'm a bit
it's
young.
well strange.
Well, all right, sorry. Very strange. All right. But, Chelsea got now nothing to play in the Premier League. No. Which, okay, maybe, yeah. If you weren't in the Champions League, get a new manager. But you were in the Champions League. He's got some stability with players. He's got a team which he probably could put out for the Champions League. And potentially, Madrid are beatable. Liverpool showed for the first 20 minutes against them at Anfield.
It's a shame games are played over 90 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a shame. Yeah,
damn those 90 minutes.
Them extra 70 minutes. Yeah. But I would have stuck with him. If you got knocked out of the Champions League, go with someone else. Get rid of him. Get someone else in. But yeah,
could you not see the mentality of Kev in terms of the Champions League? Obviously, the Premier League, as Dave said, is gone. Do they think Champions League might be the only thing we've got, and then make the challenge change?
What manager are they going to get now that's going to come in and do? I mean, it's not like they play Real Madrid in like 5-6 weeks. I mean,
no, it's close. I mean,
yeah, do you know what I mean? So I understand the new manager bounce, right? Possibly, which I all get. It always happens. But when you're playing Real Madrid, let's be honest, Champions League is Real Madrid. It's theirs. It don't matter if they're 2-0 down, 3-0 down. They've just got it in their mentality. What manager? It don't matter if you go and get Luis Enrique, Nagelsmann. Who else is there being linked?
Big Sam.
Big Sam obviously is always going to be there.
Harry.
Tony Pulis. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't understand what. I don't get it. I mean, the whole spending what Todd Boehly's been doing. I don't understand this because, like you say, it would have been done a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Because you can understand the Dortmund thing. It was a bit of a tricky game, wasn't it? You thought, do you know what? Dortmund were playing well.
I thought we'd draw against Leeds and lose against Dortmund.
Yeah.
I was dead set on the way we're playing. We are not going to get through that.
Yeah.
We've done all right away in Dortmund. I thought we did pretty well. But I just couldn't see us getting the goals because we really struggled. But
I mean, he has had the worst manager starts for Premier League for Chelsea in the Premier League history. He's averaged 1.27 points per game. Villa was the 10th Premier League defeat of the season. I think we talked about it in the pod before when we looked at the next 5 games. I think we said on the pod the Villa game could be the decider. I think if he loses that game, he goes, and that's ultimately, unfortunately, what happened. Obviously, in the Premier League, Woody again obviously played 22, won 7, drew 7, lost 8. 28 points from 28 points from a possible 66. What did it feel like did it feel surreal as a Chelsea fan? What's this season felt like? Because I think people were pleased when Potter come in. I think he was upset about losing Tuchel. I think people kind of accepted Potter and was like, well, we'll give him a chance.
Well, I think people's memories are very short. I mean, I like Tuchel, but his last 7, 8, 9 games, they were terrible.
Yeah.
We were playing really bad. So I think the change was good. We see relatively done what he'd done at Brighton and other clubs and thought, yeah, this is good. We can get him in. He can build something. We're trying to move away from this sacking managers and doing all this. So I think it's the mentality of the Chelsea fans as well. So being brutally honest, we've all become a bit like Abramovich. It don't work and we go, get rid of him.
That's because you've had success though, haven't you? It's always
worked.
worked. You'll have one season where you finish 8th, then you go and get another manager, you do some sensible signings, and then you go and win the league, or you go and fight for the league, and then sometimes
this is why it's puzzling to me. Yeah, he's saying he wants to move away from this and run the club in another way. If that's what we're doing, we're all on board with it. We might not be happy at the time. The results are not going our way, but we see what you're trying to say. We want to stop doing that. Fine. Yeah. So then to sack him now, that's doing exactly what Abramovich would have done.
Yeah.
Abramovich wouldn't have given him this long, but we're still in the same mentality where it's like, it's not working, let's go. But having said that, results-based...
Well, I was going to say, that's the point. Do we think it's the wrong decision? As looking at it as a whole, so, you know, forgetting about the Chelsea beforehand, everything else like that, looking at it purely Chelsea as it is, where they are in the league, how they've been performing, do we still think it's the right decision?
The way they are in the league, the performances, it's the right decision.
Yeah.
If you were your 9 till 5 job and you performed like he has, you're not done what you're supposed to do. Would you expect a job?
I don't think he's helped himself because, yes, we put down the whole, which we're going about all the signings and all this stuff, which we know he's not been involved in as such. But I think if the things that he said when he's had bad games, and everyone says, what does he say? Oh, I can take some positives out of this. I can see. I don't think he's helped himself.
No.
And then he's made a lot of excuses.
Yes, and it doesn't help. Now, yes, he's not going to all this thing about he's got to be stressed out. He's got to show. That's not him. You're not going to get that from him. But I don't think he's helped himself, and I think some of his substitutions not been very good, have they?
Some of them have been like for likes. And, you know, we're 1-0 down, and you bring.
What's the point?
What
is the point? Exactly.
Why are we doing that?
Yeah,
I think there's two ways to look at it. You either look at it like it's a project, and we're going to bring him in, and we're going to let him do bad. In the hope that next season he gets a pre-season under his belt, we get rid of 7 or 8 players, we bring in some loan players, Levi Colwell get in, but you know, and we restructure, and we go from there, which is what every Chelsea fan thought the plan was. So to then divert from that to 10 games to go, just seems nuts to me. Like,
that's what I don't
think he's the right man. If you look at his Brighton, he had a negative goal difference the last 3 seasons. He hasn't had a positive goal difference in any team since Swansea. Even when he comes 15th in the first season, he comes 16th in the second season on the same points, 41, and he had negative goal difference on both of them. The third season, when they finished 9th, he had -2. So he's never been a manager that, if you like, in the last 3 or 4 seasons, that's really got the goals and, you know, that's not really been him. But I think we've sort of ignored that because the football he was playing was expansive. It was better season on season. It looked like it was better, even though statistically it might not.
Do you think he probably took, I'm not saying he was terrible at Brighton, but do you not think he probably took a bit of credit for their scouting network and really
100%.
Probably not really. I mean, he would have his own scouts, like he would have his own network, but clearly it's Brighton's network that's still, because they're still...
Well, that was a question I wrote down here. Is do we think he's a bad coach? So do we think if he gets another, he doesn't get another top job for a while now anyway. He's already apparently turned down the Leicester job.
I think it's
which great. I think he should go for this.
I don't not if they're going to get relegated. Can you imagine him getting sacked from Chelsea and then going to Leicester and then getting relegated?
But where else can you see him? He's not going to get the Tottenham job.
No. He needs another team where he builds. That's my opinion. He needs another team where he builds. Exactly that. He's not in the spotlight. He hasn't dealt with that pressure of any egos in a team, ever.
Palace.
But do we think he's not good enough to
Palace next season? Because Roy's only there for the last 10 games. Go to Palace.
You lose 2 or 3 games. Does it really matter? Not really. You just back on.
Sure. That's a decent enough shout if they stay up Palace, because God knows they could be pulled into
I think personally, you're either, Leicester or Palace, if they either of them stay up.
Roy won't let him go down. Roy won't let him go down.
Nick the 1-0 wins, wouldn't he? You know?
So do we think he's a bad coach? Do we think he's not good enough for a top job?
I think wrong.
Right man at the wrong time.
Wrong time, because let's be honest. They was listing all the Todd Bowley. All these players, the people in the background that he got rid of, like Peter Cech. The lady, I can't think of her name.
Maria.
She's amazing. I mean, she got what, 100?
There's about 15. There's about 15 top people.
168 million she got for Hazard. I mean, that has to be the best sell on.
He was a great negotiator.
Yeah.
I'm not being funny. If I sat down and negotiated with him, I'd lose. I would lose all day long.
But I just think so much is wrong there for him to even have a chance. Now, if he had someone behind them, probably behind him, you wouldn't have seen all those players.
Sure.
You might have seen a couple of them, but I think he would have done better. And then they're saying that, is he a big enough manager to put up with the egos? Not meaning that egos are a problem, because sometimes a player is a better if they have an ego because they're an arsehole on the pitch.
Sure.
But I just think wrong time.
I think that was his problem.
Yeah.
Because he's never had, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm just putting out, I don't think he's ever had a player come to him and criticise his tactics or the way he behaves.
No.
At Chelsea, you're going to get egos that will come up to you and say, I don't really like what you did in training there. I don't think that's not progressive. That's not the way we want to play.
Yeah.
You know, and he's got to try and manage that and say, be nicey about it. Whereas at
About
Brighton,
25 different players.
no one's doing that to you. They're all respecting you and they're listening to every word you're saying. At Chelsea, it's flipped on its head. So then he's got to try and manage them people behaving like that towards him and thinking, how do I deal with that? I've never had to.
And how many managers have they got rid of?
Well,
But then, so are we saying then? So you obviously mentioned about all the structural change and things like that. So do we think it's the structural change that's caused the issue, or him as a coach?
Both.
Because one part we're saying he's not good enough to deal with the egos, and the other part we're saying it's because of the structure. So if he had the structure there, would he be able to handle it, or is it?
I don't know if he would at Chelsea. I think maybe another team, he might with a better structure around him. But then saying
so we think it's the structure.
I just don't think he can manage big egos. He's not used to it. There's too many. If he went into a team with one or two, like Palace, like Zaha, he's got a big ego. One player, and that's it.
you put an arm around that one player and get him on board.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and then he can work. He's like, well, I've done this with one. Right, let's go to a bigger club, and then get there. And then
let's be honest,
10 now. But
stepping stone weren't there for him. That's what I think it is.
Yeah.
He's gone from Brighton, which did all right, to a Chelsea who we want you to win every game.
Yeah, that's it.
To win every game.
Yeah.
Brighton not spending money. Chelsea, you're buying, and if you don't win, see you later. And I think that was it. Just the egos. He's gone too quick up the ladder.
And let's be honest, right? If you look at Brighton, you look at what happened with Trossard and whenever a player wanted to leave, what happens? It's like, no, you sit down and shut up, and we'll get the money we want. If you don't, you're not going. Well, those players think, oh, okay. Even though Trossard wanted to go, look what happened. We got put in the reserves. That don't happen at Chelsea, does it? So you, like you say, there's all that.
But have we had any Chelsea's come out and criticise him? Because I don't think I've seen any Chelsea player physically come out and said.
I don't think they would.
I think
but if the egos
it speaks volumes. The reverse of that, the players that come out and say that gaffer, I really appreciate. I think there was one player that came out.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so I think that's
a fair comment on that.
I think that's it's the reverse. It's who comes out and says, "I love working under him, all the best," blah blah. And you get all them messages from the top managers. You get them, but maybe they didn't rate him as a top manager. But I just think that's stepping stone. He needed a stepping stone. He needed a Everton or maybe someone, not at the moment, but
Spurs,
someone better than Brighton.
Yeah,
but not Chelsea, not United, not Arsenal, not City.
Probably not a top 6 side.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, I know Brighton at the moment are pushing for top 6. They're having a great season, but I think he needed to go to.
I think someone like Villa maybe that have got the money. I'm not saying,
and they've got history.
Yes, do you know what I mean? So they've got the money and they're happy to spend it, but they're not expected to be top 6. But then they're expected to probably be top 10.
Yeah,
that is probably the perfect sort of level.
Yeah,
there, isn't it?
So, yeah.
But you don't see that Pochettino went from Southampton to Spurs.
Yeah.
So he did
again,
did
not
that
a big team.
into top
biggest team in
So
North London.
it can be done, and not everyone. And you see some managers walk straight in, and a lot of it is
that's not with money.
Nagelsmann is but Nagelsmann's obviously been the favourite. It seems like they've been talking from what they've seen for the last 2 days.
That's why they sacked him then.
To secure him, to get it in, to circle him round.
Real Madrid, weren't they? Looking at him,
I think.
But not proven in the Premier League.
No.
Do we know he's any better than Potter?
No, you don't. Do you?
No disrespect. German league is not the Premier League.
No.
Correct. So, is it harder to keep Brighton in the season, keep Brighton in the league season after season, and performing well like he did, than it is to get Bayern Munich to win the Bundesliga?
Yeah. I think it probably is harder to get. Yeah.
So then it comes back to what's Potter got to do, or these people got to do, to get a fair crack at this top job, where people won't say about the egos and stuff like that. What do they have to do?
Win games. That's all they got to do.
Yeah,
I think Potter was bad. I do think the results we got was bad, but I don't think he's a bad manager. I think, even though I didn't agree with a lot of stuff he did, and I weren't seeing the patterns of play, I wasn't seeing the structure of the Chelsea team that I thought, okay, it's happened for 10 minutes in there, but I can get on board with that. I see what he's trying to do. We weren't seeing that. If we were seeing little fits and starts, I think most Chelsea fans would have been like old fire. But I do think he should have got to the end of it. I do think he should have got pre-season under his belt, because who knows, he might have got rid of the people that were the egos that he don't want to work with. He could have brought some of the youngsters back in from loan, other people that will look up to him and respect him, and it could have been a different start. But if we go down that route, then what do? 10 games in, we sack him and get someone else if it don't work.
This is it. That's
you don't know as well with the amount of money they've spent. Were they banking on Champions League?
Yeah, well, we talked about this before as well, about how, you know, we're stretching the contracts over a long time, affects future FFP in terms of, because it comes out, and then obviously Champions League's a thing of that. Obviously, the replacement's being banged about. I think the next decision that Chelsea make is huge.
Massive.
In terms of recruitment. I think they've got to get this right in terms of that. Who would you like to see? Obviously, Nagelsmann, we said, has been thrown about. Poch, Luis Enrique, even Mourinho has been touted about, which is
Ridiculous.
Crazy.
Do you know,
I hope he goes there, because it'd be rubbish. It'd be terrible.
It's really tough, because I don't personally see a manager out there, I think, that's available that I would go, love him, I want to get him. It feels like we're just choosing someone that we've got to choose, not someone that we actually want.
Yeah.
And I think
Like
that was
picking
the
your favourite
biggest part.
STI.
Yeah, exactly that. And none of them are good. So it's like that was exactly the situation with Potter. I felt like we brought him in. People understood why we brought him in, but no one really wanted.
It seemed like the right choice, didn't it? It was like, no, that's a fact.
I thought it was a really good appointment. I was really chuffed with him.
Chelsea don't normally do that, though. They've got the manager lined up, and you think, it's always left field with Chelsea.
Yeah.
And you think, all right, well done. But
all right, quick fire question. Kev, I'm going to start with you. We're going to work our way along. You're in charge of Chelsea board. You've got to make a decision. Next manager coming. Who are you getting?
I would probably say Nagelsmann.
Woody?
What's out there, I would agree. I think that fits the bill for what Chelsea are looking for, a young manager to come in. So,
Mr. Campion?
Yeah, I guess you've got to go with Nagelsmann. Poch, I'd like to say. I think Poch would do okay.
Yeah.
I think he could go back to Spurs. I think that could happen.
I don't think Chelsea would have him.
No, again, I think there's that. But I think Poch would do okay.
Very good.
But yeah.
Brendan Rodgers.
Yeah.
Ex-Chelsea.
I mean, it's not a bad show. He's done really well with the youth team.
Yeah, and you know, he's Premier League proven. You know, he's done very well with Liverpool, but he didn't have the backing of the board.
No, there was backroom. We always hear about this, like non-Liverpool fans say about how he didn't do it at Liverpool. It's like he was very close. He was bloody close, and there was a lot of background stuff with your transfer committee that weren't set up properly then, and there was
it wasn't the same.
Do you know what I mean? So
I think Rodgers.
You think Rodgers?
Yeah, I think he'll do a great job. He's Premier League proven. He can deal with big characters.
I don't think they'll go for him, but I think it's good.
I don't think they will, but you know,
no, definitely don't think.
And he will play the brand of football that Chelsea want to play, attacking.
He's good with the youngsters.
Yeah.
This is the other thing. I look at him at Leicester, and a lot of the Leicester fans say, "Are you blind? Do you not watch the football we're playing? It's been terrible under Rodgers, but look at he sold all the best players."
Like I say, they didn't buy anyone, and so
it's been terrible this season, but they haven't had recruited well.
Where's his motivation as the manager when you're selling his best players, not getting anyone else in and going, what do you want me to do with that?
Yeah.
And talking of terrible this season, Manchester United's away form has been awful this season.
7 games?
Well, yeah, it's against. I mean, I like the stat. It's something like against the top. Manchester United's away record against the top 9. Like that's the talk about making stats to
top 4, top 6, top
when have
9.
you ever seen anything about a top 9?
Well,
you know what I mean? But however, you can't get away from the facts. It has been terrible. They haven't won a single game in the pace that they've played 6 of the top 9 away, and they lost every single one, shipping 25 goals in that period.
2 games was 7-0 and
7-0, 4-0,
and 6.
Well, I'll read you the results. So all the away ones, obviously lost to Brentford 4-0 right at the beginning of the season, 6-3 to Man City, 3-1 to Villa, 3-2 to Arsenal, 7-0 to Liverpool, and obviously 2-0 to Newcastle at the weekend.
So what was the one before Newcastle?
That was a 7-0 trophy.
7-0. 7-0. And that is the last time Liverpool won a game.
It was,
It was the last time Liverpool won a game.
7-0.
On the 5th of March, a month ago.
Yeah. But we still scored 7-2.
Yeah, he still scored 7 goals. Yeah, 7 goals, 3 points.
Yep.
But Kev, as a United fan, it's a worrying statistic.
It's a bit crap, but I still think we are, even though we're a bit of a shit at the minute. I still think we're ahead of what we all expected.
What?
We are
Fifth.
talking about.
You're fifth.
Yeah, we are fifth.
But
You expected to be.
We've won a trophy already.
Well done.
Yeah, so that.
But the last season when Liverpool won that trophy. Yeah, when Liverpool won that trophy last season, you're like, that's not a trophy. But now,
when you say that, when you say you said it's not a trophy,
yeah.
I did.
I don't think
can
any of us
find
ever
it
said
somewhere.
that. Oh, right. Okay.
It's in here as well. Yeah,
But
not a lot in there, Dave.
But I do agree with Dave in some point in that. I do think the trophy papers over the cracks a little bit. And looking at, obviously, the thing I've got here as well, I showed you beforehand as well. Man United are 3 points ahead of where they were last year under Ralph Rangnick. Now, the impression was it was much better than that. That's a bit of a wake-up call for United in terms of, I think we thought it was much better than we thought under Ralph. It wasn't great. We've been singing Ten Hag's praises, saying how good he's been doing, and he's been doing fantastic, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But maybe it's not as good as we
I think
it is.
I think when we go on the runs that we went on, because we went on quite an unbeaten run for a while, didn't we?
you didn't play in the top 9 away, did you, in that run?
Yeah, the top 9. I love the way this has become a thing. The top 9.
Shame it's not the top 7.
Well, the only reason it's top 9 is because
think-
Liverpool won us and they're all the way down there.
But then I think last season, where were the other teams around that are probably not doing as well? So you have to take in around about that. But I just think, to be fair, yes, we must get top 4. But I still think we're in a better place. Yes, the points, but who gives a crap if you go and win the league and you win the league by less points than what someone else won? Would you care?
No, I agree with that, and I agree with the point. But I do think that it's maybe not as good as we think it's been. Woody, what do you think in terms of Man United? Obviously, I'm not supposed you've seen lots of them this season. What's your opinion as a Chelsea fan, how it's been for United?
I've got to disagree with you, because I personally think they've laid foundations down this season. So performance levels and the actual identity of football, because I don't think they've had an identity since Alex Ferguson really left.
No. Agreed, yeah.
So if I'm honest with you, I think they've turned a massive corner. Even though the points, like you say, it doesn't, on paper, that looks bad.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But I think they've laid foundations down this season for their identity and the way they want to play football. And I do think if they can strengthen a little bit at the end of the season, you know, get a good pre-season under his belt, I do think they can hit the ground running.
I think part of the fact that we would potentially in the chart face, I think, flattered us a little bit. I think that's got expectations a little bit high. I totally agree with you. I think we're definitely making progress under Ten Hag. Liverpool, was your Liverpool fan, David? What's your opinion of United? The away form is obviously
the last 9
shocking.
games, did you say? The last 9 games.
Last.
No, not 9 games, Kev.
Top 9.
Top the last 9
Seven.
Yeah.
We played 6 of the last at the top 9, and we've lost every single one of them.
I think, like Woody said, you're doing well. You're getting an identity. You know, you're playing a better brand of football than you have been. You know, yes, you're feared. You've always been sort of feared at Old Trafford because you've got the referee and you've got the crowd with you.
That's the referee and the crowd.
Yeah,
and the linesman.
Yeah, and VAR. You know, but I think you've got to sort out your top. You know, your away form. And that's proven for Liverpool at the moment. We can't win away from home. And potentially we might be losing 1-0, looking at, disallowed goal.
So what do we think?
The revival of Rashford has been a massive part to play in that as well.
100%. He's done some amazing stuff. He really has, Ten Hag. But what do we think is the root of this poor away form?
I think the squad. The quality of the squad.
Quality of the depth.
That is exactly it. So personally, I like McTominay's doing all right, but I think when
is he?
He's doing all right. He's doing all right. That's
great.
It's not
great for Scotland.
Yeah, up front.
Yeah, but let's be honest, it's Scotland. So
2 braces, 2 games, world class.
Yeah.
Todd Bowley's buying him.
I can say Chelsea winning for 90 million.
All over it. No, I just think yes, we've got quite a big squad, but I don't think the quality is there. Casemiro, I know I used to say about Casemiro, and Dave said about, one player makes a difference. He clearly does. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know he's good, but it just shows you with him out, with Eriksen out, Bruno is so frustrating because he can just turn it on some days, and I felt like at the minute he's frustrated.
Not against the big teams,
he's trying to do so much. I mean, to be fair, Bruno Fernandes now reminds me of Scholes when he goes back to tackle.
Yeah,
like he just it's just leave
There's a red
it.
card in the making.
Yeah, it's just he can't just leave it. I'd rather you let them run than trying to do it. So I personally think give him the summer. I don't expect there to be 6 or 7 players. I think 4 maximum. Some of the youngsters coming through, and I think there'll be a few more shifted out, and I think that's where it turns it on its head. Because let's be honest, if we go and get a decent striker, and we get some.
Who is that in your opinion?
I'm still available.
They got for
Eric.
Ideally, 2 out of 2 up to 7 aside.
Ideally, I would like. Is it the one that plays for Hoffenheim, the new Haaland? I quite like him.
You seen him play a lot, have you then, Kev?
I have actually.
Yeah,
YouTube looks amazing.
Yeah. Best bits, yeah.
But the only problem,
Mudryk, perfect example.
Yeah.
The only problem is Bayern Munich are now interested, and they'll probably get him because that's how it works. I mean, I would like Kane, but I just can't see. I can't see
him going backwards.
Yeah, right.
So let me ask you another question about United, and I agree that I think we're all saying they're making progress. If Manchester United finish 5th, 6th, out the top 4, do we think that's a disappointing season?
5th would be, not top 4 now because of where we've got. I think, yes, even if before we'd start the season, we would have said, look, even top 4 ain't there. But I think once you get there,
sure,
you're like, oh, come on, we was there. Why we dropped so far down? I think
that's you're shit. That's why.
So 5th would be a disappointing season for you?
Yeah, me.
I think most United fans would say that's disappointing, but because of the expectation of previous years, I actually think that would be a good season to build off of, especially the way that football's sort of changed. And they've laid some foundations, but it's got to be a disappointment, and it's not really, but the fans would see it as a disappointment.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah.
Again, I'd say it's good. A good position 5th for you, but like I say, you've been up there, so you should have, realistically, you are potentially going to get 4th. You've got 2 games on hand on Spurs. If you're not going to, get them 6 points or even 3 points, you got.
No, Newcastle.
Yeah, but again,
I've got them down for 4th.
Yeah, I think Newcastle get 4th because I think they've got game hand on Spurs as well, haven't they? And you got 2 games on hand, so you should overtake Newcastle and Spurs quite easily. You win one of them and you're above both of them. So I think you'll get it, but. Yeah, if you don't get it, it's not a disappointment.
Just need Casemiro back because it's 2 more games, isn't it?
Yes, and also Sancho's form obviously seems to be losing patience. Reading the paper, seems to be losing patience with Sancho. Again, he's done some very good things there. The Ronaldo situation we talked about, again, he handled that very well. Yeah. Sancho, I thought he's handled quite well, but I can understand he's getting a little bit frustrated. You want to see a little bit for him. You want to give him the support, which they seem to have done that. Anthony's another one for me that hasn't quite done it
yet.
Frustrating,
but I think you've just
first season for a foreigner.
Yeah, I think unfortunately, yes, you're going to see his fee that we paid for him. We did pay over odds for him, but at the end of the day, you just got to trust the manager. Yes, Weghorst, it's done okay. But I think I only ever find
I feel a bit vindicated with Weghorst because obviously now the paper was saying he's not good enough. But I got slated by fellow United fans when I said Weghorst was a cart horse.
Yeah, but I think the thing is,
he's awful.
It only happens when we're back. Like when we lose. That's what he seems to be the first thing. It's like, look, it is what it is. It's till the end of the season. Just get with it.
I get that. The reason he's getting grief is because, look, I got a striker, he does work things, but striker score goals. If you had a goalkeeper that passed really well but let him fucking 14 goals a game, you'd get rid of him.
He's a good shot stopper.
Yeah, exactly.
That's his job.
Yeah, exactly.
That's his job.
Yeah, you concede 5 goals a game, but you know what? He's got a great personality. You know what I mean? That doesn't work. So I think that's the thing with Weghorst. Yeah. Yes, he's great. I like him, tries hard, but, it isn't what we want to pin a form on. But, progress being made. One team that has made progress this season, we have to talk about it. We haven't talked about it in a few weeks. Arsenal, they're looking solid coming into the final games, the back stretch. I upset a lot of Arsenal fans when I said I thought Arteta might be too passionate. Doesn't seem to have done that. They seem to have really galvanised. I'm going to put a caveat on this, though, and I'm going to take the caveat off. The last 5 games, they've won all 5. They've scored 18. They've conceded just 4. Okay, so it's fantastic performance at this point in the season. The caveat is they've played Everton, Bournemouth, Fulham, Crystal Palace and Leeds.
Teams you should be beating.
However,
some coming up though.
You've got to beat them, right? And Arsenal have been doing that, and you have to give them credit for that because not every teams are beating all of them all the time. You should be beating them, but they haven't been beating them. Liverpool haven't been, Man United haven't been beating them at times. Chelsea haven't as well. So you can only beat what's in front of them. But you are right in terms of the next 6 games that's coming up. They've only got 2 games at home, Arsenal. They've got Liverpool away on the 9th. They've got West Ham away. They've got Southampton at home, Man City away, Chelsea at home, and Newcastle away. So the next 6 games, I think, will define the season for Arsenal. But what's our opinion of Arsenal? Just great togetherness.
Every time we look at a game, and it's not like we want them to lose, but every time you think,
I want them to lose.
All right, Dave.
I do as well.
for John Daly.
Yeah.
Every time you think there's a game they could possibly, I mean, was it the Villa game they got a draw? They win. No, they come back.
They won.
They won.
So there's just all these bits that come into play, and you think, do you know what? That when you look back at it, if they do win the league, which I think it's just so close now, I think you go there. You know, these times in the season, they're proving it. And let's be honest, what's the centre back's not playing at the minute?
Saliba.
Yeah, and that's a massive loss.
Yep. Massive loss.
He's a great player. I mean,
don't you think Arsenal season at the moment and their way they're playing the league is very similar to when Leicester won the league? You're expecting Leicester to slip up.
Sure.
Yeah.
And
they pull a result out of the bag.
Yeah, and that's it. You know, Arsenal are doing it. They're pulling result. You know, they're probably the same sort of standard of what Leicester were, you know.
Yeah.
Try. You're going to get some shit for this one. And that's what it is. You know, we're all expecting them to slip up in the game. You know, they'll probably come to Anfield and absolutely smash us. You know, it's not.
I'd imagine so.
Not beating. You know, it's not for everyone beating Liverpool at Anfield.
Leighton buzzed under 14 to come to it, apart from United.
Apart from United. But I'm impressed with them this season.
I mean, we've mentioned before, and I wrote down here in the notes, crazy season is very close. Many big teams are not performing, so you could say that's part of the reason why. But other teams aren't performing, and they are. So you can't, that doesn't factor in. I don't think you can use that as an argument. I think you have to give Arsenal credit for how they're performing. Obviously, as a fellow London club supporter, I bet it's killing you, Woody, to see Arsenal up there at the moment.
Do you know, I don't mind seeing them do well. What I mind is the fans that come out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
Ones that were Arteta out.
Like, they'll win one game and it'll be all over every social media. Oh, you like shit, we're the best. It's like, oh my God, keep your...
I haven't played anyone yet.
That's all, relax.
That's all you got, wasn't it?
And every single time it's like, haven't played anyone. Yeah, 1-2-0 again.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind. I think he's playing some good football.
Yeah,
I like the fact that they gave him time. I do think they're going to win the league. Because it has a little feeling. It reminds me of the feeling Chelsea had when we was on the run to the Champions League. And it was like quarterfinals, we win, and it was like, it felt like we couldn't lose. Even though people thought they're not going to be in this game. They ain't going to, we got to Barcelona. They're not going to win that. We win the game. It had that. They have that feel at the moment where nothing can sort of stop them. There is that little feel about them. And I think them going into these games is going to be crucial, that they have that little mind game over the other teams. Because Chelsea, we're playing terrible. I mean, Man City, Southampton are picking up results. They're digging deep.
Yeah.
Liverpool can do it on a game.
One-off game.
It can.
Newcastle want that top 4 spot. I mean, these are tough games for us.
This defines.
If I'm honest, the only one which I think might be an easy game is Chelsea. Because if leave it,
Woody, leave it.
If you did he say Chelsea?
If you're still in the
Is
Champions
he drunk
League,
already?
in the Champions League still, will you have one eye on that?
We'd sacrifice the league games because we're doing so bad anyway.
Yeah, that's it. You'd rather be winning the Champions League games.
Yeah, we
rest some players, etc. and stuff. If you lose,
we've got 45,000 players.
I know, but
we need to rest.
But but still, none of them can score. The only one that can is out on loan, Lukaku. Yeah,
this is trouble for us when he comes back as well. We're not going to get rid of him. I can see trouble in.
You still got Batshuayi on your.
Mutu's still signed on as well. Bosnich is there.
Yeah. Drogba.
I wish we still had him.
So again, you can't take anything away from Arsenal. I think they're fantastic. And I know you talked about obviously Arsenal fans come out on social media. Arsenal have a very good social presence in terms of they're almost one of the strongest online in terms of fans. And Josh, who I work with at work, he talks about this as well. It's part of the reason why Tony Adams was in Strictly Come Dancing for so long, because the Arsenal social massive, so to speak, got behind him. So that's a real attribute.
Dancing, wasn't it?
But that's a real
better hips than he has.
That's a real attribute for the club, though, to have such a vocal fan base. It frustrates us as opposing fans sometimes, but it is a great asset for them in terms of
Arsenal fans TV. It's a bit boring when they're doing this because it's no entertainment, is it?
Yeah, exactly.
Better when they're losing.
Being nice to each other, wasn't
it? It's nice when they lose their
Arsenal
shit.
fan TV was probably the first and best one of that. That kind, and so they've been very good on social media. Not that it helps them win leagues, but it does help keep the fans up and get the momentum behind.
Let's be honest. This is when Arsenal beat us at the Emirates. That's the first time that I've heard that crowd at Arsenal like that, and absolutely. You know what? It makes a massive difference.
Yeah, they've done things well. They come through the period of the didn't spend much money. Arsene Wenger, they undersold him in the end. He did fantastic for them, keeping them there for so long without spending too much money. Keeping there, they did it the right way. They took the long time paying off the stadium, put themselves in position.
Yeah.
We put out a thing last week about net spend over the last 5 seasons. I think they're 4th, so they're now starting to invest in the club. You can't take anything away from them. Sorry, Dave, you was going to say something.
I can't remember what I was going to say.
Is that interesting?
Fair enough.
Also, Arsenal, Jesus is back now, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
I do think it's a mentality change for me. I look at the Wenger years, and every Arsenal fan was just happy if they finished above Tottenham and they were in the top 4.
Yeah,
and it didn't really give two shits about what else was happening.
Absolutely,
we're top 4. We won it again. We've got Champions League. We've got Champions League again.
Yeah.
The mentality
still couldn't win it though, could they?
No. But that mentality change is no doubt it's come from Arteta.
No,
spent
absolutely.
years with Pep, and he said, "I'm not doing any of this shit half-assed. We're going to win."
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You can't give them nothing but credit for it so far. Before we go and talk about Liverpool, I handed you during the talk there a sheet with 15 players on it. For those that are listening on Spotify and Apple, I'll quickly run down the names. If you're watching it on YouTube, I'll put the graphic up on the table. So I handed them a sheet that's got Tony Adams, Sol Campbell, Michael Carrick, Petr Cech, Andy Cole, Ashley Cole, Jermaine Defoe, Les Ferdinand, Rio Ferdinand, Robbie Fowler, Gary Neville, Michael Owen, John Terry, Yaya Toure, and Nemanja Vidic. Keep an eye on that. I'm going to ask you a question in a little while, but study them all so you've kind of got it to think. Before we do that, let's talk about Liverpool, Dave.
Yep.
Liverpool fan. Yep. The 7-0, fantastic result for you, as we talked before. It does kind of paper over the cracks a little bit of what's going on. What is going on? What the fuck is going on, Dave?
It's absolute shit.
It is. It's we can't.
Sorry, I just wanted to say it.
We're very much like United. We can't perform away from home.
We're not as bad as you.
Well, you got dick by us, so you're worse than us, all right? You're only
what was the score?
7-0, Woody. Yeah.
Where are you in the league?
7th. I don't know. We're about 8th, aren't we? But I don't know. It's just we don't seem to be gelling the game. We're not playing as free-flowing football. Is it teams have now seen, well, hang on a minute, if we play the ball over the top, they're vulnerable. And then that's where we are vulnerable, when the ball goes over the top. We haven't got the legs in midfield. We're not closing down to stop that ball going over.
That was my first question to you, because a lot of managers seem to do it. Is it a burnout?
Yeah.
Is it because I'm asking so much from my team? Like Mourinho used to, Joe Cole, get back.
Yeah.
I'm an attacking player. Like, get back behind the ball.
Yeah.
Is it a burnout? Is it like these players have just exhausted everything, and even though they want to play, they just can't do it?
Yeah, I think it is. And with the World Cup as well, mid-season, some players have played a lot.
But that negates out, because that affects everybody.
Doesn't affect everybody.
It affects most teams.
It does. But they're burnt out from the previous season, I think, as well, playing every single game, which not many teams can do.
I can't believe we're still banging on with this. I still can't believe we're banging on.
We'll hear this in 20 years' time.
But they are, I think, burnt out, and they're not young in midfield either. They're not young legs.
That is one place that you could do with young kids, couldn't you? Like,
what's that other young lad's name? Really good lad. I really like him. He's an 18-year-old.
Carvalho? Elliot?
No.
Batricic.
Yeah.
What a player.
Yeah, fantastic.
What a player.
Injured for the rest of the season.
Are you joking?
Yeah, so I think...
It's too young. You need some of the old boys in there.
Yeah, you look at Mane. he's not been performing from Bayern.
No.
You know, they're saying he looks tired, burnt out.
Yeah, the question is training and stuff, aren't they?
You know, so I would say
Sorry, are we seriously saying that professional athletes that have a team of doctors are affected by games they played a year ago? Like, seriously?
It's amalgamation, surely.
Yeah.
Really?
I think so. I think,
Then surely all your doctors and that need to be sacked.
No, they do a good
Isn't
job.
that down to the manager a bit? Like maybe saying
Rotation, should be there. But I just think they're old, though. The midfield is old.
Yeah, but that's down to the manager and the recruitment.
So that's recruitment.
Yeah, we have not recruited well.
So Klopp out is what you're saying?
No. No, I'll never say out. You know, I think he's the best manager we've ever had. And he's fantastic. I love him. You know, keep him there.
What does he need to do now then? Is it just spruce up the midfield?
Yeah, I think spruce up the midfield, get another centre back, because I think Matip and Gomez have had it. Van Dijk, again, is he showing signs? I think he's still going to be a good player.
Yeah,
but
I think
he hasn't got the protection from the midfield that he had in the previous years.
No.
So he doesn't look as good because he's doing more than what he should be doing in a way.
Let's be honest, the injury he had wasn't a minor injury, was it? It was a massive one.
So I think, another centre back, 2 centre midfielders, and I think we're fine. And maybe a right back to give Trent something to think about.
Trent needs competition because so much is on him.
We brought that
I'd like
lad.
to see Trent playing higher up.
Yeah,
I'd like to see defensive abilities. We're all going about. I don't think he's that bad a defender. I just think he's highlighted every single game to make it look like. And then everyone jumps on the bandwagon and goes, "Oh, he can't defend." He can defend. He
can,
does make mistakes like everyone else.
Yeah.
But he gets annihilated for his mistake that he'll make.
But then when you look at normally 9 times out of 10, it's always their best player is playing against him.
Yeah,
it's always
and
Mbappe,
he always gets double teamed as well.
Yeah.
He always gets double teamed.
Yeah,
It's interesting you said there, Woody, as well, as in that once they have a label, it happens thing. I seen an interview with Andy Cole actually before that as well, just recently. He was saying about Glenn Hoddle said he needs 3 or 4 chances to score when he was the England manager, and ever since then, every paper run with Andy. No one had mentioned it beforehand, but all of a sudden everyone was like, "Oh yeah, he can't score first time." So you're right in terms of sometimes something can come up in the media, and just everyone just goes because you look at Andy Cole's goal record,
hasn't he?
Trent
talked about it, I think, at the World Cup.
Yeah.
Before.
So it is interesting because you look at Andy Cole's goal record. Like, obviously, Trent, in terms of defending, it's not as bad as you're led to believe with, obviously, the media.
I'm not being funny. He was doing all right when Liverpool were winning the league and won the Champions League.
Yeah.
But we weren't doing bad then.
Yeah, but again, we were playing a different brand of football.
Yeah.
The midfield was doing a better job stopping.
The cover was there.
Yeah, that was it. Now, he's got to attack and defend. So, he's doing a lot more. And again, when you've bombed forward all the way to the other end of the pitch, trying to get back, you're going to be blown out
against the fastest player on the pitch.
Yeah. I know. Mbappe, Vinicius.
I can make a comparison to when Marcos Alonso went to Italy, went to Fiorentina, and he was a left back. Sunderland, wherever he was.
Sunderland. He was like,
he was decent. Right? He was a good player. He went to he smashed it in Italy. Smashed it playing attacking left midfield. So they gave him that said defensive responsibility. Don't worry about that. Go and play higher up. His crossing, his skillful, his ability. When he came back to the Premier League, he looked like a different player.
Yeah,
that was Jose that got him, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he looked so different.
Like
he's transitioned backwards. But what I'm saying is, when he came back for that season, he was brilliant. Just getting them crosses in and he was brilliant.
Yeah.
And it's difficult for Liverpool now, obviously playing Chelsea currently at the moment. You've got Arsenal next as well. So again, it's tough. 2 games coming up in terms of that.
City did one before, so 3 tough games. But again, that games, you expect to perform well and potentially get something out of them.
Yeah.
The City game, potentially I didn't think we were going to get anything away from home. Chelsea game, if I hadn't sacked Potter, I would have thought 3 points in the bag. Now I think it's going to be probably.
So why did you think 3 points in the bag against Chelsea with the same midfielder playing every game last season? Why would this be? Generally, why do you think this would be different compared to
the Chelsea players? Are just not going to be up for it.
Yeah, we're just as bad as you. So,
Now they've got not a new manager, but they've got potentially a new manager coming in soon.
Sure.
They're going to try and play. Every player wants to play and get in that team.
It might be the weight of Potter's tactics are now off their shoulders, and they think they can be a little bit freer.
Play the way they want to play. So I think it's always difficult. Arsenal, just depends what Liverpool turn up on Sunday.
And what Arsenal turn up as well.
Yeah,
So.
well, I think the Arsenal turn up will be their best.
Yeah.
They'll be at it, won't they?
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
they're going to be at it.
The way Arsenal play is like it's the last minute of every single game. They've got to score to
when do you
win.
play Arsenal? Is that next
Sunday?
Is it Sunday?
Yeah.
So is that why you think there's a few changes in that game?
No, because we were shocking against City. Klopp's decided, screw you guys. You've been the mainstay. You've not performed. Let's put some other players in and see what we can
decisions.
get. Yeah, because when as a player, if you think you can play week in week out, you get
your standards drop.
Yeah,
you just
I'm playing no matter what. So you're not going to be the best that you can. So
I think it's very important that you bring in this at the end of this season because you're going to lose experience in that team no matter what. 2 or 3 probably. Yeah. So are you going to go for youth or are you going to bring some more experience in 27, 28's got a bit of know-how?
Well, there's
Madison.
No, there's talk of
McTominay.
That Arthur Miller from Juventus, is he, or wherever he's come from?
Got him on loan.
They're talking that we're going to make that a permanent deal.
Really?
Arthur Miller, was he at Barca? Was he at Barca?
Yeah,
it was at Barca.
Juventus and Barcelona. It was really weird. It was like 90 million dodgy deal.
Yeah.
Is he hardly paid for you though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's been injured, but they're talking that they're going to buy him. You know,
is that because there's going to be so much money potentially going in on Bellingham? Do you think that will hinder you?
I don't know. Potentially, yeah.
He's a game changer.
Yeah. I mean, I don't get me wrong.
Like you're saying, going for old and experience. Bellingham's got experience playing at the top level, but not in the Premier League yet.
Do you know what? I don't see that in Bellingham. I see that in Aubameyang, other people that I thought great in the German league.
Yeah,
it looks really good in German. Same as Sancho. I thought it looks great in Germany. But I'm not sure. Bellingham. You just know
he looks class.
He's a Gerrard for me, so he'll hit the ground wherever he plays, even internationals. He'll hit that ground running and he'll give you 100%.
He thrives off it, doesn't he? He thrives. You know when Rooney played for Man United when he was like 18? That's how Bellingham played. Just thrives off of the attention.
Grab the game by the scruff of the neck.
Some big game players.
I'd love to get Bellingham and Rice.
Oh, mate.
That would be...
Rice is coming back.
That would be amazing. Get them two together. And even having Henderson in there. I know you guys hate Henderson, but I think he's a leader.
Henderson won't leave, but you need cover because he can't do it.
Yeah, but he's a leader. He'll get,
What was he shouting at the other day? I like that. I'd like to see that. I can't remember who it was that made a mistake. But he started going in on him.
Yeah.
I want to see that. If you're a top player, I want to see you saying that ain't good enough.
Yeah, it's like Milner. Milner, again, top pro. Van Dijk made a mistake and Milner had a right go.
Was that against that?
I don't know. Probably not.
He
scored 7. He didn't score it.
It was the first game when he actually beat you.
But and that's the thing. You need them, like you say, them experienced players in the middle of the park. Just one to get people going. But
well, I hope the shit show continues.
A bit like United.
So obviously, I hand the thing to you. The thing we're going to talk about, just to wrap it up in terms of that, talking of great players, I've put 15 players in front of you. Yep. This is the Premier League Hall of Fame, which has come up for votes this year. Let me tell you, I don't know if you've heard of the Premier League Hall of Fame. So the Hall of Fame was launched in 2023. Obviously, David Beckham, Bergkamp, Cantona, Thierry Henry, Roy Keane, Frank Lampard, Steven Gerrard, Alan Shearer were the first inductees in 2021. In 2022, Aguero, Drogba, Vincent Kompany, Wayne Rooney, Schmeichel, Scholes, Vieira, Ian Wright were also inducted. So there's a 15-man shortlist now.
All legit.
All legit. There's a 15-man shortlist, which is what we read out before. Basically, there's 5 inductees that's going to go into the Hall of Fame this year. 2 of them will be picked by a panel. 3 of them are going to be picked by the fans. And this is open now on the Premier League website that you can vote for 3 of these people to go into the Hall of Fame. I done mine earlier on today. And I wanted to ask you guys, out of the 15 there, you've got to pick 3 of these players to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, Premier League Hall of Fame. And I wanted to do it blind, so you had no time to really think about it too much. So out of those 15s there, again, for those listening to the podcast, I'll run through quickly just what the boys are looking at. It's Tony Adams, Sol Campbell, Michael Carrick, Petr Cech, Andrew Cole, Ashley Cole, Jermaine Defoe, Les Ferdinand, Rio Ferdinand, Robbie Fowler, Gary Neville, Michael Owen, John Terry, Yaya Toure, and Nemanja Vidic. Dave, I'm going to start with you. 3 to go into the Hall of Fame Premier League. Obviously, try not to just go by your Liverpool, but obviously if there's the 3 for you, then you've got to go for the 3 for you. Who are your 3 picks that you would vote for to go into the Hall of Fame?
John Terry, Petr Cech.
Yep.
And I would have to say Robbie Fowler.
Robbie Fowler, Petr Cech. Okay, Woody?
See, my in no particular order, I would have picked Tony Adams, Andy Cole, and John Terry.
Interesting.
I would go Tony Adams, because he's a legend. Ashley Cole, because I think he's been one of the best left backs ever. And I would say, I'm going to say Yaya Toure.
Interesting.
You know why? Simply because I think he's so
high.
Underrated.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's
so underrated. And it just, do you know what? I don't think Man City got him. Do you know what? He was at Barcelona and didn't really stand up there. And he come there and I thought, why are they getting him? And do you know what? I think it was very underrated.
It's really hard.
Player, but Hall of Fame.
Yeah, well, it's a really hard thing to do. I went for Carrick, Cech, and Cole.
Yeah.
Andrew Cole.
Saying that, I could probably put most of them. Like
you can make an argument for all of them in some shape or form.
Robbie deserve to be in there, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. I think again, you can look down that list and.
Do these go in for the next? So the ones that don't make.
I don't know. I don't know how it works in terms. I would say not.
Set it up. I mean, come on. What are the rules?
I don't know. Well, that's how I know that. Obviously, there's 5 inducted. 2 are from an independent panel. 3 are from the fans. You can do it on the Premier League website. You can submit your votes. I think it's quite good. I think if you've got time, check in the Premier League website. It comes up straight away.
Looking at it, Yaya Toure is probably the least picked out of all of that because he's probably the youngest, isn't he? All of them not. But yeah,
maybe, who knows? Yeah, but it's a really interesting thing, and it would just be interesting that all of us picked completely different, which I think proves how hard it is. We definitely like to see some of them still in the Premier League now. That's for sure.
Oh, can you imagine?
United, Chelsea, and Liverpool could do with a few of those.
Yeah,
I'll be honest here. There's only one player on there that I would say was probably not a leader, possibly 2. Michael Owen, Jermaine Defoe, not necessarily leaders. Every single one of them other players, they're leaders on the pitch.
Yeah. Les Ferdinand's an interesting one as well. It's almost, obviously, Newcastle of the olden times, and obviously Tottenham as well, wasn't he? Spurs back in the day.
And
QPR.
Portsmouth, wasn't he?
And Portsmouth. Portsmouth, I think. It's easy to forget how good he was as a striker. Fantastic striker. But anyway, check it out on the Premier League website. Give your votes. I think it shuts on the 10th of April, I believe, for the public vote. So if you want to do it, then get in and do your votes first. It'd be interesting to see. That wraps it up for episode 20 of SPADS. Woody, thank you very much for coming on. I hope to get you on again very, very soon.
Welcome. Nice to be here. Thank you.
As always, like, share, comment, tell your friends, slag us off on socials, do what you normally do, and we will catch you again next week.